Are you ready, kids? It felt wrong for all of us. We're just going to pretend I didn't do that. Hello lovely people, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are all well. Today we are going to discuss the long awaited and only just starting Spongebob Music Hall. Yeah, I know, attractive. If you want to know my thoughts and feelings on this show, then stick around and we'll get into it in 2 whole seconds. So yes, hello, welcome back. If you're new here, hi, my name is Claire. I pretty much run this channel. I do run this channel. This is Open Roads and Theatre Seats, where we discuss theatre and travel. Mostly theatre, occasional travel. I don't get out as much as I would like to, but hey ho, what you gonna do? You haven't got all the money in the world. Sometimes you have to have some balance. Today we are going to be talking about the SpongeBob the musical. I always want to say the SpongeBob SquarePants musical, but no, it's just the SpongeBob musical. So if I say it wrong at any point in this video, I would truly apologise. You'll also notice that it does say add gifted or add gifted tickets. I don't know how I'm wording it, but basically I went to see this show as part of some work that I do on a blog called Theatre and Tonic, and through that I got a gifted ticket. So full transparency, I had a free ticket to go and see this show, but all the opinions are myself. I hope that makes sense and I hope that's okay. But moving on, let's discuss this show. I'm going to start by saying that I am not of an age where SpongeBob was a massive part of my childhood. I feel like I kind of missed that boat. I feel like so many good TV programmes began once I was a bit too old. I'm of the era of Tots TV. I'm the early 90s, like bang on start of the 90s. So I didn't really know what I was getting into going into the show, but I was pleasantly surprised. The whole show as an entity was just so much fun. It was so colourful. I did a couple of times just go, wait, what's happening? It was a bit of a fever dream. I did have a headache as well at the time. It was a lot, but it was so good. So a little bit of backstory to the show itself. Obviously it is based on the TV programme, and the show itself has been written by Kyle Jarrow and has been brought to life for this amazing production. It also has some incredible people on the songwriting list. So to name just a few, to name just a few of the people who have written songs that are in this show, we have got the Queen, Sarah Bareilles. We have got Steven Tyler and Joe Perry from Aerosmith. We also have Cyndi Lauper and John Legend, just to name a few. There is also additional lyrics by Jonathan Coulton and also additional music by Tom Kitt. I feel like this is a soundtrack and a cast recording and just a musical for everyone, because if you don't like one song, you're probably gonna like the next one. Like, there are some that when I sat in my seat and I was like, okay, I quite like this one, and then there were others that was like, okay, this is a bop. My current favourites, as I discussed with my friend earlier, my current favourites, and I have got my phone out because I can't remember their names. I'm only a day old to this. My current favourites are currently I Guess, I Miss You, I'm Not a Loser, Here Is My Middle Name, and The Best Day Ever. My current favourites, but they change on a daily basis. Yeah, it's definitely be a cast recording that I will continue to listen to. There is obviously the Broadway one that I'm listening to because we haven't got a UK tour one yet. Who knows if we'll get one, but it is still there. This production has been brought together and has been put in a tiny little pineapple shaped house box by an amazing team, amazing creative team. First we've got director Tara Overfield Wilkinson, who I was literally reading their information because in the programme each of the creative team, or a handful of them, so we've got Tara, we've got Fabian, hopefully I'm saying that right, Mark Crossland and Steve Howell give their thoughts and feelings on everything, and it was really good to actually have like their thoughts. So I was reading Tara's earlier and it was really interesting how she came forth with her ideas for this show, and I feel like her direction worked alongside Fabian, I'm going to probably ruin their full name, but Fabian Alois, apologies if that is wrong, who is the choreographer, and their work together was really like seamless. Because the cast isn't like massive, it's a touring show. Touring shows never have a large cast. Some people have to do various different things, and the way you can kind of slip someone off, but slip someone off so easily, was just really, really clever. And the whole thing just felt like a massive spectacle, and the way that Tara has done her directing was just absolutely excellent. And then moving on to the choreography, oh, there were so many different types of dance in the show. There is some hip hop, probably not the correct term, but not a dancer. There is some contemporary stuff. There is also a tap number in Act 2, and we all know I love a tap number, and it was just absolutely excellent. There was, again, just like with the music, there's a bit for everything, so if you're not a tap fan, you might be a rap fan. I did just say that because it rhymed. There is something for everything and everyone, and yeah, I just really enjoyed watching everything as it unfolded in front of me on the stage. Before I go on to the cast, I just wanted to mention two more creative people from the creative team. Firstly, we've got Costume Decide, which has been made by Sarah McCarday, hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly, whose designs were just so cleverly done. They were colourful, they were spectacular, but at the same time both costume and set used recycled products as part of their work. So costume wise, we had I believe it was secondhand clothes, and then there were additional things attached. So there was bottles, one of the wigs even had a can in it. It was just very cleverly done and kind of highlighted the point of recycling and doing that thing for the environment even, especially when you're doing a show which is based quite under the water, which we all know many things end up in our waters that shouldn't be in our waters, and that kind of kills everything off. And the same with the set design. The set design was done by Steve Howell, and again a lot of recycled-esque products. The massive volcano, which is threatening to destruct the whole of Bikini Bottom, which is the whole reason for the plot of this show, is made completely of recycled bottles, and that was just absolutely excellent. It was just absolutely brilliant. Costume wise, they were amazing. I do have two favourites. Firstly, the Sheldon J. Plankton costume, just because I really enjoyed the massive boots but with like a tiny plankton on. Loved that, because it kind of highlighted how small Plankton really is, even though the person being Plankton is this massive person. And then secondly, we have to mention Squidward's costume, because Squidward has 4 legs. The actor playing it had 2. Where did the other 2 legs come from? An amazing costume design where I still don't know to this day how they actually moved, but they moved so well, and it was just brilliant. let's move on to the cast now, who were absolutely amazing. Firstly, let's talk about the titular role of SpongeBob, which was played by Louis Cornet. They did the most amazing job. Like I say, I didn't grow up with the show, the TV show, but obviously everyone knows that very particular voice that SpongeBob has, and Louis did that voice so brilliantly. It wasn't like spot on, it was like the perfect homage is the best way I think to describe it. Louis was just so full of energy, so brilliant, and just absolutely spectacular to watch at all moments. I also truly enjoyed the yellow quiff. I love a design thing like that. And his work alongside his two best friends slash sidekicks by the name of Patrick Star, who was played by Irfan Damon, hopefully I'm saying that name correctly, and also Sandy Cheek, who was played by Chrissy Beamer. Absolutely excellent to watch. Love that whole trio. I also was a massive fan of Patrick. I feel like I have a lot of Patrick in me. And that I'd quite like to just be under a rock quite a lot of the time, or in the bath in bubbles. I mean, don't we all? Also in the cast, Squidward, I've already mentioned. In our production, or in our performance should I say, because I saw it in Birmingham, we had Gareth Gates. Obviously this role has been taken by two performers. Gareth Gates is doing some of the performances and some of the places, and then the other locations, other venues, that's the word, are going to be done by Tom Reed Wilson, which I'm very interested to see how his portrayal is different. Squidward was one of those characters you kind of have to be grumpy. I feel like I'm a mix of Patrick and Squidward. Like, I can have my grumpy moments, but I can also be really, really lazy. I'm kind of strong, you know? But Gareth Gates did an absolutely brilliant job as Squidward. He had his comedic moments, which was nice to see. There was a running gag throughout the whole show until towards the end, where Squidward wants to be the centre of attention. He wants to have his show out in the world. He keeps starting his own special song, and then for some reason it gets cut out, and it's hilarious, you know? It's one of those funny ongoing gags, to the point that about the third time it happens you're like, okay, well, how is it going to be cut out this time? And yeah, I really enjoyed that performance. And I also really wanted to mention the amazing Davina De Campo, who is playing Plankton, or should I just say Sheldon J. Plankton. Davina just does it with, I was trying to explain it to my friend earlier, it's such a like a pantomime villain-esque way, but in the best way possible. Plankton is evil, but at the same time he's not scary. He's just misunderstood. I don't know how to describe it, but it's just brilliant. And some of the madness, the greatest madness of the entire show, comes from Plankton and his wife, Karen the computer, who's played by the amazing Hannah Lowther. The reason I say amazing is because I feel like she is non-stop during the show. She is Karen the computer, but she is also working alongside the rest of the ensemble. So she appears at different she appears at different moments and is in different guises. And I feel like when she's not being one, she's changing very quickly into the next one, and it was just, she deserves her props for this show alongside the rest of the ensemble. So just to run through them, I am going to have to read because I can't remember names and I probably will ruin someone, so I truly apologise. So we had Sarah Freer as Pearl Krabs, Richard J. Hunt as Eugene Krabs, Reese Kerridge as Old Man Jenkins, Theo Reese as Larry the Lobster, Rebecca Lizwewski as Maya, and Eloise Davis as Mrs. Puff. I say those names and those roles, but like I just said, the ensemble is so incredible that they are doing something every moment of the show. So 1 second they could be being, for example, Eloise could be being Mrs. Puff, but then she can in the next moment be something completely different. She could be part of a school of sardines. I don't even know if sardines and school is the collective noun. It's not collective noun, plural, there we go. I didn't do good at English. They're also in enemies. They have so many hats, so many different wigs, so many costumes, and they're just absolutely brilliant. Plus, on top of everything else, they are also doing live sound effects for certain moments in the show. I will never see a toy dog pig the same again. I mean, I have one downstairs because I do own a dog. I kind of just want to walk around and squeeze it. That'll make no sense if you don't see the show, so sorry. But I did truly love seeing that on stage, live sound effect making, very cleverly incorporated into the set, into the show. Absolutely brilliant. So having not seen a TV show and not really knowing what I was going into, I had the best time. Like I said, there were moments I was like, hang on a second, what is going on here? But at the same time, I just really enjoyed it, from the narrator, who is pre-recorded and is actually the amazing Alex Gaumond, previously seen in Sylvia, and also the pre-recorded on-stage performance of Richard Arnold, who plays the very posh haired and coiffured news reporter by the name of Perch Perkins. It was just absolutely cleverly, brilliantly done, and yeah, I was blown away. I definitely feel like it is a show that you could go and watch and have a great time watching it. There is something to see every port. The band are very well incorporated into the show as well. The band are on the stage at the back of the stage, but you can see them at all times, plus they also come out occasionally, and I just enjoy that. And yeah, I just really had an absolutely great time, and I really wanted to film this video and let you know. So if this review has wet your whistle to go and watch this show, please do so. I really enjoyed my time watching the Spongebob musical. Got it right, go me. Yeah, it was absolutely excellent, and I would 100% recommend you going and grabbing a ticket whilst it is on tour up and down the country. Like I said, I'm quite tempted to go back and see it in one of my other local theatres, where Tom is going to be playing Squidward, just to see how they vary, but also just to have a laugh and a smile and a dance in my seat, because some of those songs are bops. Just saying it. Right, that is it. I've talked enough. I'm going to leave you here. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you come back for another one next time. But from me and my programme, I'll bid you farewell, and I'll see you next time. Bye!